Man, it's cold. Man, it's cold down here. Yeah. Shalom, everybody. What's up, baby? Welcome back to Rise and Scripts. We up and at it. So, man, you got breath to breathe. So that means you got all you need to succeed. So let's succeed. And we're going to read in the book of Jasher. The ancient book of Jasher, man. We almost to the end. Referenced in Joshua 10 and 13, 2 Samuel 1 and 18, and 2 Timothy 3 and 8. Big baby. Big baby. We almost done, man. We are on chapter 69, and we're going to work our way to chapter 72. We're going to roll. We're going to see what it is and what it ain't, what we can and what we can't, and the do's and the don'ts. I'm about to do that, baby. We'll be like, how you do that? Yeah. Let's see what the Most High talking about, man. Man. Yeah, we're going to read a couple of pages. We got to get to chapter 91. And we almost there. Yeah, but hey, give reverence and praise to the Most High for what you have today. You have a lot to be thankful for. As long as if you can see this, man, you got a lot to be thankful for. A lot. Ooh, a lot to be thankful for. Excuse me. All right, main hold up. When you come on in, man, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your people, man, we out here reading shit, man. Shallow out here reading, man. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Chapter 69 is Egyptians mistreat Israel. Oh, yeah, they've been working on that one. They've been trying to get Israel out of there. They trying to kill the babies. They scared that Israel going to do what they did to them other people against them. Oh, man, they out of there. But let's give glory and honor to the Most High, man. Let's blow up the trumpets, man. Like Asaph and them did when they was in the temple and the tabernacle. Blow up the trumpets. I can blow my trumpet again, Lord. I can blow it again. Thank you. Man, that little one time, man, with that Bell's palsy was going on, I couldn't blow my trumpet. Oh, I felt bad. I felt bad, like I couldn't give him what he deserved. Blow up the trumpet. Make a joyful noise. Oh, make a joyful noise. Joyful to me. All right. Chapter 69. Let's jump right into. Let's roll our way through chapter 69, man. Chapter 69 and chapter 69, 70, 71, and 72. And we're going to get it out the way. And then we're going to come back with family time. And we're going to finish up the book Ghosted. We're going to finish up Ghosted today. So we can start to move back with Desmond Cole and the Ghost Patrol. I hope everybody warm where y'all at. I hope y'all warm where you at. If you're not, get warm. So let's grow, man. Let's read and grow. Chapter 69. Egyptians mistreat Israel. You're going to get what's coming, big baby. And the king of Edom died in those days, in the 18th year of his reign, and was buried in his temple, which he had built for himself as his royal residence in the land of Edom. And the children of Esau sent to Pethor, which is upon the river, and they fetched from there a young man of beautiful eyes and comely aspect, whose name was Saul, and they made him king over them in the place of Samlah. And Saul reigned over all the children of Esau in the land of Edom for 40 years. And when Pharaoh, king of Egypt, saw that the counsel which Balaam had advised respecting the children of Israel did not succeed, but that still they were fruitful, multiplied, and increased throughout the land of Egypt, then Pharaoh commanded in those days that a proclamation should be issued throughout Egypt to the children of Israel, saying, no man shall diminish anything of his daily labor. And the man who shall be found deficient in his labor, which he performs daily, whether in mortar or in bricks, then his youngest son shall be put in their place. And the labor of Egypt strengthened upon the children of Israel in those days. And behold, if one brick was deficient in any man's daily labor, the Egyptian took his youngest boy by force from his mother and put him into the building in the place of the brick, which his father had left wanting. And the men of Egypt did so to all the children of Israel day by day, all the days for a long period. But the tribe of Levi did not at that time work with the Israelites, their brethren, from the beginning. For the children of Israel, the children of Levi, knew the cunning of the Egyptians, which they exercised at first toward the Israelites. Chapter 7. The end of Moses. And in the 3rd year from the birth of Moses, Pharaoh was sitting at the banquet when Alparanith, the queen, was sitting at his right and Bathia at his left. And the lad Moses was lying upon her bosom. And Balaam, the son of Beor, with his 2 sons, and all the princes of the kingdom were sitting at table in the king's presence. And the lad stretched forth his hand upon the king's head, and took the crown from the king's head, and placed it on his own head. And when the king and princes saw the work which the boy had done, the king and princes were terrified, and one man to his neighbor expressed astonishment. What the hell is this? You let the boy take your crown? And the king said unto the princes who were before him at table, what speak you, and what say you, O ye princes, in this matter? And what is to be the judgment against the boy on account of this act? And Balaam, the son of Beor, the magician, answered before the king and princes. And he said, remember now, O my lord and king, the dream which thou didst dream many days since, and that which thy servant interpreted unto thee. Now therefore, this is a child from the Hebrew children, in whom is the Spirit of God. And let not my lord the king imagine that this youngster did this thing without knowledge. For he is a Hebrew boy, and wisdom and understanding are with him, although he is yet a child. And with wisdom he has done this, and chosen unto himself the kingdom of Egypt. For this is the manner of all the Hebrews, to deceive kings and their nobles, to do all these things cunningly, in order to make the kings of the earth and their men tremble. Surely thou knowest that Abraham their father acted thus, who deceived the army of Nimrod king of Babel, and Abimelech king of Gerar, and that he possessed himself in the land of the children of Heth and all the kingdoms of Canaan, and that he descended into Egypt, and said of Sarah his wife, she is my sister, in order to mislead Egypt and her king. But he lying on Abraham. Stop lying on Abraham, man. Abraham ain't did that for that. His son Isaac also did so when he went to Gerar and dwelt there, and his strength prevailed over the army of Abimelech, king of the Philistines. He also thought of making the kingdom of the Philistines stumble, in saying that Rebekah, his sister, his wife, was his sister. Jacob also dwelt treacherously with his brother, and took from his hand his birthright and his blessing. Well, they keep lying on my people, man. They lying on them people. He went then to Padam Aram, to the house of Laban, his mother's brother, and cunningly obtained from him his daughter, his cattle, and all belonging to him, and fled away, and returned to the land of Canaan to his father. His sons sold their brother Joseph, who went down into Egypt and became a slave, and was placed in the prison house for 12 years. until the former Pharaoh dreamed dreams and withdrew him from the prison house and magnified him above all the princes of Egypt on account of his interpreting his dream to him. And when God caused a famine throughout the land, he sent for and brought his father and all his brothers and the whole of his father's household and supported them without price or reward and bought the Egyptians for slaves. Now therefore, my Lord King, behold, this child has risen up in their stead in Egypt to do according to their deeds and to trifle with every king, prince, and judge. If it please the king, let us now spill his blood upon the ground, lest he grow up and take away the government from thy hand, and the hope of Egypt perish after he shall have reigned. And Balaam said to the king, let us moreover call for all the judges of Egypt and the wise men thereof, and let us know if the judgment of death is due to this boy, as thou didst say, and then we will slay him. And Pharaoh sent and called for all the wise men of Egypt, and they came before the king. And an angel of the Lord came amongst them, and he was like one of the wise men of Egypt. And the king said to the wise men, surely you have heard what this Hebrew boy who is in the house of has done, and thus has Balaam judged in the matter. Now judge you also, and see what is due to the boy for the act he has committed. And the angel, who seemed like one of the wise men of Pharaoh, answered and said as follows, before all the wise men of Egypt and before the king of the princes, if it please the king, let the king send for men who shall bring before him an onyx stone and a coal of fire, and place them before the child. And if the child shall stretch forth his hand to take the onyx stone, then shall we know that with wisdom has the youth done all that he has done, and we must slay him. But if he stretch forth his hand upon the coal, then shall we know that it was nothing with knowledge that he did this thing, and he shall live. And the thing seemed good in the eyes of the king and the princes. So the king did according to the words of the angel of the Lord. And the king ordered the onyx stone and coal to be brought and placed before Moses. And they placed the boy before them. And the lad endeavored to stretch forth his hand to the onyx stone, but the angel of the Lord took his hand and placed it upon the coal. And the coal became extinguished in his hand. And he lifted it up and put it into his mouth and burned part of his lips and part of his tongue. And he became heavy in mouth and tongue. That's why they say he couldn't talk right. That's why they say he couldn't talk right. Because that coal burned his mouth. I'm going to mark that. And when the king and princes saw this, they knew that Moses had not acted with wisdom in taking off the crown from the king's head. So the king and princes refrained from slaying the child. So Moses remained in Pharaoh's house, growing up, and the Lord was with him. So the king and princes, and whilst the boy was in the king's house, he was robed in purple, and he grew amongst the children of the king. And when Moses grew up in the king's house, Bathia, the daughter of Pharaoh, considered him as a son, and all the household of Pharaoh honored him, and all the men of Egypt were afraid of him. And he daily went forth and came into the land of Goshen, where his brethren and the children of Israel were, and Moses saw them daily in shortness of breath and in hard labor. And Moses asked them, saying, wherefore is this labor meted out unto you day by day? And they told him all that had befallen them, and all the injunctions which Pharaoh had put upon them before his birth. And they told him all the counsels which Balaam the son of Beor had counseled against them, and what he had also counseled against him in order to slay him, when he had taken the king's crown from off his head. And when Moses heard these things, his anger was kindled against Balaam, and he sought to kill him. And he was in ambush for him day by day, which is up. It's up, Balaam. When I see you, it's up. And Balaam was afraid of Moses. And he and his 2 sons rose up and went forth from Egypt. And they fled and delivered their souls and betook themselves to the land of Cush, to Kikianus, king of Cush. And Moses was in the king's house, going out and coming in. The Lord gave him favor in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants, and in the eyes of all the people of Egypt. And they loved Moses exceedingly. Moses! Hey, Moses! What up, baby? I'm out here in Goshen. And the day arrived when Moses went to Goshen to see his brethren. Then he saw the children of Israel there in their burdens and hard labor, and Moses was grieved on their account. And Moses returned to Egypt and came to the house of Pharaoh and came before the king. And Moses bowed down before the king. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, I pray thee, my lord, I have come to seek a small request from thee. Turn not away my face empty. And Pharaoh said unto him, Speak. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, Let there be given unto the servants, the children of Israel, who are in Goshen, 1 day to rest therein from their labor. And the king answered Moses and said, Behold, I have lifted up thy face in this thing to grant thy request. And Pharaoh ordered a proclamation to be issued throughout Egypt and Goshen, saying, To you, all the children of Israel, thus says the king, for 6 days ye shall do your work and labor, but on the 7th day ye shall rest, and shall not perform any work. Thus shall you do all the days as the king and Moses the son of Bathiah have commanded. And Moses rejoiced at this thing which the king had granted to him. And all the children of Israel did as Moses ordered them. For this thing was from the Lord to the children of Israel. For the Lord had begun to remember the children of Israel, to save them for the sake of their fathers. And the Lord was with Moses, and his fame went throughout Egypt. And Moses became great in the eyes of all the Egyptians. Moses! And in the eyes of all the children of Israel, seeking good for his people Israel, and speaking words of peace regarding them to the king. Chapter 71. Moses kills an Egyptian. Moses a stepper, big stepper. Moses caught him a hat. And when Moses was 18 years old, he desired to see his father and mother, and he went to them to Goshen. And when Moses had come near Goshen, he came to the place where the children of Israel were engaged in work. And he observed their burdens, and he saw an Egyptian smiting one of his Hebrew brethren. And when the man who was beaten saw Moses, he ran to him for help. For the man Moses was greatly respected in the house of Pharaoh. And he said to him, My Lord, attend to me. This Egyptian came to my house in the night, bound me, and came to my wife in my presence, and now he seeks to take my life away. What? That's what Moses, what? I know damn well not. And when Moses heard the wicked thing, his anger was kindled against the Egyptian, and he turned this way and the other. And when he saw there was no man there, he smote the Egyptian, and hid him in the sand, and delivered the Hebrew from the hand of him that smote him. And the Hebrew went to the house, and Moses returned to his house, and went forth and came back to the king's house. And when the man had returned home, he thought of repudiating his wife, for it was not right in the house of Jacob for any man to come to his wife after she had been defiled. And the woman went and told her brothers, and the woman's brothers sought to slay him, and he fled to the house and to his house and escaped. Wow, that's the law, baby. That's the law. Don't get mad at that boy, because that's the law. Man, that boy that went in, y'all don't want you. And on the second day, Moses went forth to his brethren and saw and beheld 2 men were quarreling. And he said to the wicked one, Why dost thou smite thy neighbor? And he answered him and said to him, who has set thee for a prince and judge over us? Dost thou think to slay me as thou didst slay the Egyptian? And Moses was afraid, and he said, surely the thing is known. And Pharaoh heard of this affair, and he ordered Moses to be slain. So God sent his angel, and he appeared unto Pharaoh in the likeness of a captain of the guard. And the angel of the Lord took the sword from the hand of the captain of the guard, and took his head off with it. Oh, get back. For the likeness of the captain of the guard was turned into the likeness of Moses. And the angel of the Lord took hold of the right hand of Moses, and brought him forth from Egypt, and placed him from without the borders of Egypt, a distance of 40 days' journey. And Aaron, his brother alone, remained in the land of Egypt, and he prophesied to the children of Israel, saying, thus says the Lord God of your ancestors, throw away each man the abomination of his eyes, and do not defile yourselves with the idols of Egypt. Excuse me. And the children of Israel rebelled and would not hearken to Aaron at that time. And the Lord thought to destroy them. Were it not that the Lord remembered the covenant which he had made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. In those days, the hand of Pharaoh continued to be severe against the children of Israel, and he crushed and oppressed them until the time when God sent forth his word and took notice of them. Chapter 72 is the last chapter. Kikianas. And it was in those days that there was a great war between the children of Cush and the children of the east, and Aram, and they rebelled against the king of Cush, in whose hands they were. So Kikianas, the king of Cush, went forth with all the children of Cush, a people numerous as the sand, and he went to fight against Aram and the children of the east, to bring them under subjection. And when Kikianas went out, he left Balaam the magician with his 2 sons to guard the city, and the lowest sort of the people of the land. So Kikianas went forth to Aram and the children of the east, and he fought against them and smote them, and they all fell down, wounded before Kikianas and his people. And he took many of them captives, and he brought them under subjection as at first. And he encamped upon their land, and to take tribute from them as usual. And Balaam, the son of Beor, when the king of Cush had left him to guard the city and the poor of the city, he rose up and advised with the people of the land to rebel against King Kikianas, not to let him enter the city when he should come home. And the people of the land hearkened to him, and his 2 sons for captains of the army. So they rose up and raised the walls of the city at the 2 corners, and they built an exceeding strong building. And at the 3rd corner, they dug ditches without number between the city and the river which surrounded the whole land of Cush, and they made the waters of the river burst forth there. Lord, oh my Lord, oh my son. I love you, my son. That's all you want? Oh, Lord! You ain't gonna come listen to Moses? At the 4th corner, they collected numerous serpents by their incantations and enchantments, and they fortified the city and dwelt therein, and no one went out or in before them. And Kikianas fought against Aram and the children of the east, and he subdued them as before. And they gave him their usual tribute, and he went and returned to his land. And when Kikianas, the king of Cush, approached the city, and all the captains of the forces with him, they lifted up their eyes and saw that the walls of the city were built up and greatly elevated. So the men were astonished at this. And they said one to the other, it is because they saw that we were delayed in battle and were greatly afraid of us. Therefore have they done this thing, and raised the city walls and fortified them, so that the king of Canaan might not come and battle against them. So the king and the troops approached the city door, and they looked up, and behold, all the gates of the city were closed. And they called out to the sentinel, saying, Open unto us! Open! That we may enter the city. But the sentinels refused to open to them by the order of Balaam the magician, their king. They suffered them not to enter their city. So they raised a battle with them opposite of the city gate. And 130 men of the army of Kikianus fell on that day. And on the next day, they continued to fight. And they fought at the side of the river. They endeavored to pass, but were not able. So some of them sank in the pits and died. So the king ordered them to cut down trees to make rafts upon which they might pass to them. And they did so. And when they came to the place of the ditches, the waters revolved by mills, and 200 men upon 10 rafts were drowned. And on the third day, they came to fight at the side where the serpents were, but they could not approach there, for the serpents slew of them 170 men, and they ceased fighting against Cush. And they besieged Cush for 9 years. No person came out or in. 9 years, man. They held them posts for 9 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. And Moses was 9 years in the camp of Kikianus, king of Cush, all the time that they were besieging Cush. And Moses went out and came in with them. And the king and princes and all the fighting men loved Moses, for he was great and worthy. His stature was like a noble lion. His face was like the sun, and his strength was like that of a lion. And he was counselor to the king. And at the end of 9 years, Kikianus was seized with a mortal disease, and his illness prevailed over him, and he died on the 7th day. And his servants embalmed him and carried him and buried him opposite the city gate to the north of the land of Egypt. And they built over him an elegant, strong, and high building, and they placed great stones below. And the king's scribes engraved upon those stones all the might of the king Kikianus, and all his battles, which he had fought. Behold, they are written there at this day. I wonder where this place is. I wonder where this place is. Now, after the death of Kikianus, king of Cush, it grieved his men and troops greatly on account of the war. So they said one to another, Give us counsel what we are to do at this time, as we have resided in the wilderness 9 years away from our homes. If we say we will fight against the city, many of us will fall wounded or killed. And if we remain here in the siege, we shall also die. For now all the kings of Aram and all the children of the east will hear that our king is dead, and they will attack us suddenly in a hostile manner, and they will fight against us and leave no remnant of us. Now therefore, let us go and make a king over us, and let us remain in the siege until the city is delivered upon us, up to us. And they wished to choose at that day a man for a king from the army of Kikianus. And they found no object of their choice like Moses to reign over them. And they hastened and stripped off each man his garments and cast them upon the ground. And they made a great heap and placed Moses thereon. And they rose up and blew with trumpets. Moses! And called out before him and said, May the king live! May the king live! And all the people and nobles swore unto him to give him for a wife Adonai, the queen, the Cushite wife of Kikianus, and they made Moses king over them on that day. And all the people of Cush issued a proclamation on that day, saying, every man must give something to Moses of what is in his possession. And they spread out a sheet upon the heap, and every man cast into it something of what he had, one of gold earring and the other a coin. Also of onyx stones, bdellium, pearls, and marble did the children of Cush cast unto Moses upon the heap, also silver and gold in great abundance. And Moses took all the silver and gold, all the vessels, and the bdellium and onyx stones, which all the children of Cush had given to him, and he placed them amongst his treasures. And Moses reigned over the children of Cush on that day, in the place of Kikianus, the king of Cush. King Moses, baby. We're going to stop there at chapter 73. Moses in Ethiopia. Moses became king of Cush. King of Cush. Blow up the trumpet for King Moses. Long live King Moses. King Moses. Woo! Look at that boy up there. That's Moses, baby. Big Moses. Oh, Moses up there. Big king. Joseph was king. I mean, not Joseph. Yeah. Joseph was king over Egypt. Moses was king over Cush. Man, we king everywhere, baby. We out here. Big kings. And that has been today's reading of the ancient book of Jasher and Rising Scripts. We read chapter 69 through 72, and we're working our way up to chapter 91, and that'll finish the book. And we try to see what it is and what it ain't, what we can and what we can't, and the do's and the don'ts, so we can be better and apply apply whatever we can apply to our life to make us better. Better than we were yesterday and better tomorrow than we are today. And hopefully we can read and seek and find the treasure that was left behind, so we can go ahead and comfort our spirits and our mind. Man, because we're living in dark times. Yeah, but that was today's read, man. Hey, we're going to come back. I'm going to cut this live off. Like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your people, man, we out here reading shit, learning shit, doing shit, trying to figure some shit out. But I'm going to cut this live off. We're going to finish this live. We're going to cancel it. And we're going to start the family reading hour, or the family reading time. And we're going to finish up the book Ghosted. We're going to finish up the book Ghosted. We got about 100 pages, but I think we can read that 100 pages within an hour. I think we can read that 100 pages for Ghosted in an hour. So, man, until next time, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, man. Stay warm out there. If you're not warm, stay warm. Get warm. Go get your heater. Get your good jacket. Get your good jackets. Your good coats. Look at that inside. Ooh, warmth. Ooh, warmth in that thing, baby. Big warmth. But, get your stuff together, man. You have breath to breathe, so you have all you need to succeed. Shalom, 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 everybody, man. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, a wonderful start to your day. Let's get it in like King Moses, big baby. I'm Shalom. I'm out here. Shalom out, baby.